Hi everybody, Larry Graves here. Oh, I was just showing off my one of my Pink Floyd shirts. This is the final video in the Pink Floyd album review series, because after this album, The Wall, I just lost all interest in further Pink Floyd albums. I never got into the final cut or the albums made after Roger Waters left. But I would love your opinion on them if you want. I've heard them, but it's just, yeah. Now, I'm going to do the entire album, so this will be a long video. So sit down, have a glass of wine or a rum and coke or whatever you like, and I'll ramble on. But of course I do these videos mainly to get your opinion on the songs. And earlier today I wrote down, because I listened to the whole album last night, and that's better. And I just rated every album this morning, so I remember, because it was fresh in my mind. Now it's not as fresh. I will say this about The Wall. It's a damn good album. It's not my favorite. I would say maybe it's number 4 or 5. And P.S. Thanks for the comments on who I should do an album review on next. It was between you two and Paul McCartney, and Paul McCartney won by probably maybe a 70% margin. But I will do U2, and I'll do other bands like The Clash and Creedence Clearwater Revival, possibly ZZ Top and other bands. I'll try and make this, I'll go through this fairly fast. In the Flash. Heavy track. I love it. I love the intro. I love the plane effect near the end. In fact, I'll just make a quick mention of the special effects on this album. Some awesome special effects throughout this album. I had mentioned on Animals there weren't that many interesting special effects, but they brought a huge amount of special effects on this album. So, yes. A 10 out of 10 for In the Flesh. The Thin Ice, a 10. Love the vocals. Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1, a 10. I especially love the guitar work in it. The Happiest Days of Our Lives, a 10. And a great intro to Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2, which, like probably a lot of you, you're probably sick of hearing it because it's always on the radio. And I don't listen to the radio that much, but when the radio was on, it seems to still be played quite a bit. But it's a hell of a good song, and it's a 10. But I don't need to listen to it again in my lifetime. Mother is a 10. Mother is a 10. Love the vocals. Goodbye Blue Sky. Really nice vocals, a 10. And when I give out a 10, it's for everything. The melody, the production, the music, everything. There's no complaints. Empty Space, it's a pretty cool track, but not a 10. I would give it a 8. Young Lust, one of my favorites on the album. It rocks. I love the chorus, and I love, the special effects like Wanna Take a Bath and the pudding thing with the father. It's very cool. One of My Turns. I gave it a 7. It's just okay. It's kind of boring. Don't Leave Me Now. Once again, I've written down here, it's okay, it was kind of boring. It's a 7. It's not a bad song, though. Another Brick, Part 3, it rocks. It is a 10. And Goodbye Cruel World, a very nice way to end side 2, or the first disc. I give that a 10. Then on to the second disc, Hey You, really good vocals, a 10. Is there anybody out there? Yeah. See, with some of these songs, like on their own, it's like they're not that good. But as part of the album, of course they're probably needed to tell the whole story. But as a song, it's okay. It's a 7. Nobody Home, a 7. Vera. From the last time I heard it months ago, I probably thought, oh, that's probably my least favorite song on the album is Vera. It's so dull. But you know what? It's kind of nice. And I've changed my opinion on it. I give it an 8. Bring the Boys Back Home is probably my least favorite song on the album. It's a 6. Comfortably Numb. Now that's another track some people might say that they're tired of hearing, but I haven't really heard it that much. And I don't think it's been played on the radio quite as much as Another Brick in the Wall. And I'll give it a 10. Great solos by David Gilmour, of course. The Show Must Go On, a 10. In the Flesh, just like the intro, it is a 10. Run Like Hell, that's a cool track. Yes, great song. And of course, once again, awesome guitar work. Waiting for the Worms, it's part of the story. It's kind of cool. It's an 8. Stop, starting to almost turn into more of a Broadway play than a Pink Floyd kind of an album. And I gave it a 7. The Trial is kind of interesting. I used to really hate it. I used to really hate the ending of the album, but now I actually understand, unlike some concept albums, I actually understand the main concept of this album. And so The Trial, I give an 8. And Outside the Wall is a superb way to end the album. And I'm sure most of you know by now, but it's almost like a loop. Like if you started the last snippet of the end of the album with the first snippet of the start of the album, it would like loop, because I think he says this is where we came in. So at the start it's came in, and at the end it's this is where we... It's very cool. So those are my ratings for The Wall. You don't necessarily have to rate every song, but just tell me your thoughts on The Wall. And I'm really looking forward to doing probably most of the albums by Paul McCartney and Wings and talking about the songs. And if there's anybody still watching, do you think I should do them in order like I have done for Pink Floyd, or do it kind of all over the place like I did with the Beatles on my Larry Graves TV channel? I would love your thoughts on that. I'm not sure which way I'll go yet. And so, yeah. So, be on the lookout this weekend for the Paul McCartney album reviews. I think my next rock music vlog, though, will be about the new wave kind of bands from the 80s. I'll just do like quick little comments on some of the bands I really loved, and some of the bands I didn't love so much. Thank you for watching. I'll shut up now. Goodbye.